Hello everyone, welcome to Arrow. Today we'll be discussing a topic I've been thinking about recently. Over the past few weeks, I've seen a few posts mentioning how they missed the storytelling from around SummerSlam 2022 to WrestleMania 40. Of course, one of the people who was a major factor for the greatness of that period was Cody Rhodes and his journey to dethroning Roman Reigns to become WWE Champion. Now, even though this is only hypothetical, a question came into my mind. What if Cody did not return to WWE at WrestleMania 38? Obviously, WWE didn't want Roman to be a forever champion, but if Cody wasn't going to be around, who would have been the one to take the title off Roman? There are two things I wanted to consider when answering this question. One, would that superstar be able to tell a compelling story that rivaled the one that we all witnessed? Two, would they be a good candidate to pass the title to, since effectively it would make them the face of the company? Given these criteria, I came up with five superstars that would have been good candidates to fulfill this role if Cody had never returned to WWE. Just a heads up, this list is in no particular order. Number 5, Jey Uso. This story would have written itself, going back all the way to the birth of the Tribal Chief persona in 2020. Jey was the first to challenge Roman, the first to fall in line, and the first to break away from the bloodline, if we don't include Sami Uso, of course. If WWE had chosen to build the next few years entirely around the bloodline's internal conflict, Jey absolutely could have been the one to finally overthrow Roman. Sure, he might not have been the traditional face for the company, but if he would be anything like he is today as main event Jey Uso, he definitely had the ability to put the company on his back. Number 4, Kevin Owens. KO, ever since he debuted on the main roster, has always been a reliable main event performer for the WWE. On top of that, his chemistry with Roman has been proven repeatedly. Owens brought out some of Roman's best matches during the early Tribal Chief era, especially their last man standing match at Royal Rumble 2021. Being the rebellious character that he is, along with his consistent performance, he would have been a strong option to dethrone Roman. Much like Jey, he wouldn't be your typical face of the company, but he'd be more like Stone Cold Steve Austin when going about that role, something that older fans of the product would 100% appreciate. Number 3, Drew McIntyre. Drew was almost in Cody's spot before Cody ever returned. From late 2019 through 2021, he was positioned as the hero of the company, the man who defeated Brock Lesnar, carried WWE throughout the pandemic, and never got the true stadium moment he deserved. WWE could have easily rebooted Drew on a redemption arc, slowly rebuilding him until he ultimately overcame Roman. If Cody never returned, Clash of the Castle 2022 could have been the turning point where Drew finally captured the title in front of a massive crowd. Or it could have been his first roadblock, like how Cody lost at WrestleMania 39 when so many people thought he was going to win. This story could have been on par with the Cody vs. Roman rivalry. In a sense, it could have been Drew who finished the story. Number 2, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is the emotional pick, as he may be the most beloved underdog WWE has had since Daniel Bryan. His storyline with the Bloodline reached the level of mainstream buzz rarely seen in modern wrestling. For proof, just take the roar of the Montreal Crowd Elimination Chamber 2023. If WWE wanted to fully lean into pure storytelling, Sami dethroning Roman could have been the moment. Imagine a long-term arc where Sami, after being manipulated, humiliated, and casted out, slowly climbs back up until he finally stands across from Roman at WrestleMania. He may not fit WWE's traditional mold for the guy, but his crowd connection and narrative depth easily rival Cody's. Number 1, Seth Rollins. If Cody hadn't returned, Seth is the most reliable choice. Rollins already has history with Roman stretching back over a decade, from the Shield to the clashes as single stars. A long-term story built around Seth being the one man Roman can never fully break would have ran itself. Rollins has star power, credibility, and mainstream presence to become the definitive face of the WWE. He's the closest match to Cody in terms of balancing emotional story and bring consistency and company representation. And that wraps up my list. Is there a wrestler I didn't consider who should have been on this list? Would you guys like to see a longer video of this be made? Perhaps you'd like to see me do a fantasy booking on what the storyline would have looked like without Rhodes. Wherever your thoughts may be, leave a comment below, and I'll do my best to respond to all of them. If you enjoyed the video, also make sure to like and subscribe. That's all for me today. See you.